Hey, you crazy cats! 42's live streams and videos are simply not available on vinyl. You will have to go to the YouTubes for that. So if you want content about British traditions and culture, cutting edge social commentary from an unapologetically patriotic perspective, along with a side order of madness you simply will not find anywhere else, then this is the place for you. And to all those early adopters in the chat, don't forget to hit the notification bell. That's how you get the good stuff and make sure you never miss a tasty treat. So with that being said and done, squeeze yourself in. Let's get into it. You know you want to. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Please delete as applicable because the internet is worldwide and time zones are indeed a thing. And that was only a very minor glitch with getting the intro off and us on the screen, so we're doing not too bad. And with that, I'm going to introduce my guest for this evening. He's been on before, really good show in the last one. It's going to be a great conversation. Mr. Peter Benton, what about you, Sean?
You're right, mate.
How's it going?
Yeah, going great, yeah.
Still working away with that garden, getting it whipped into shape?
Yeah, still doing loads to do.
Okay, right. I'm going to say my hellos to the people in the chat and give them a shout outs and all that sort of stuff. And then we're going to get stuck straight into it. Who have we got? Who was first in? Little Wing 6 was 9. Really glad to see you here. Over from the Waffle House. Budgie Burger, the man with the funniest comments on the internet. Willie's Desert Hagen. What about Willie's Desert Hangouts? What about you, chum? Glad to have you here. Rich from RPW. Mate, brilliant show last night. I really enjoyed that. Thank you very much for having me on. If you don't know Rich, click the button and subscribe on him. Does really good shows. Who else have we got in? Curious George, welcome aboard. Edmund, happy International Indigenous Peoples Day. That's not what it is. Today is the celebration for the relief of Derry, the longest siege in British history, and that's what people like me celebrate today. So there you go. People's trying to steal our days. Slim's in. What about you, chum? Special K on the acid. Excellent. Glad to have you aboard. Right, that's about everybody. And we'll do a couple of shout outs. Sorry, and I'm going to have to sneeze and blow and cough and stuff one sec. Right, okay. First off, we have tomorrow night. There may or may not be something on Ragnar Orange Spear stream. To be totally honest with you, I have no fucking clue what's going on over there at the minute. But there you go. That's his shout out. Pakistan. What about you, Sean? What else do we have? We have two shows I'd like to give a shout out to. Courage is Secure. Robin, who was on the end of the month stream last week, and will be. No, she's done her return. My head's away with. Yep. Yes, Robin Courage is Secure. I will check back with you about who's on the end of the month stream. My head be fried at the minute. Brad James is in, Evening Mucker, and also Rich RPW Media has a lot of content, has a whole website and a media website behind that with lots of information, and also the one, the only, the Dave Waffle House, home to the world famous best duck race on the internet. It's really mad. Yes, you can get ducks by many means. You can participate in the show. You can leave comments on one of the videos that actually stays up. Yes. Please come flash the duck. Yes, you can win prizes like these. It's amazing. Get yourself involved with the Dave Waffle House. She was after that saying, and Slim, Anglo-Saxon, Evening Brother. So there you go. I think that's about all of our shout outs. And that brings us back to Mr. Peter. Well,
Hello.
how did you, out of curiosity, how did you find it coming on the last time and sort of telling your story?
I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous.
Yeah. Did it cause you to think about a lot of stuff in the days after?
It did, yeah, it did. And like I said to you earlier when I was watching it back, just to catch up, it made me realise, it reminded me of stuff that I'd missed out that I want to get out this time round and all that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, this is it, because we very rarely actually go about telling our story without putting in a lot of provisos and excuses for everything and anything that's ever been visited against us. And whenever you actually do verbalize all that for the first time, it does help you with a bit of perspective. And also, once you've went through it the first time, you realize the bits that you missed out, and then you do want to get that out and complete the story. So, other than that, so where would you like to pick up? Or do you want to start off by saying what you're at the minute with your garden and the new house and stuff?
Yeah,
ease in you from there.
Well, they're coming to lay down the base on the 18th of August for the cattery we're having built outside. And then I'm not even sure when the building commences after that. And then sometime after, we've got to go back to the place to get the guys to come and do another base for my studio. That might not even happen until next year. And then when that's all out of the way, then we can start looking at things like the pond and getting that sorted. I've got loads of different tropical fruit that I've just stuff that you just buy from the supermarket, and I've planted it, hope for the best, and most of what I've planted, funnily enough, has grew stuff that I never even thought you could grow over here in this climate. But I've managed to grow passion fruit so far, pomegranates, several different species of orange, lemons. We've got grapefruit growing. We've got little grapefruit trees now. And little story to tell you.
How long ago did you take possession of this house?
How long ago? We moved in March.
Right, March, April, May, June,
July.
Yeah, 4 months and you've got a whole fucking orchard going there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see anybody that's saying they're having trouble with gardening and whatnot, they need to give themselves a shake, because it seems like you've achieved a hell of a lot there in a very short period of time.
Yeah, wow. I had a lychee as well, but it seemed to have died. I was doing well because I planted that about this time last year, and I planted like 20 of these lychee seeds, and only one of them came up, and I was grateful for that. Started sprouting into this lovely little tree with like pinky purple leaves on it. Had like a pinky purple tinge to the leaves. It must have got to about, I don't know, 6 inches or so, and it just went quiet. But I understood it was getting colder, the fall was coming, so it's going to shut down anyway. And then it sort of picked up through the spring this year, but then the leaves started to slowly curl up and go brown, and they fell off one by one. Before you know it, by the time I've moved over here, it was just a stick. So we lost that. But a strange thing happened, so strange. I had like I've got a mango tree, little mango tree growing. It's one of two pods that are planted in the soil that took. And it started growing, and then it grew a couple of leaves, and then that was that.
Are
That
you
was
trying? Are you trying to get all the citrus fruits that you need to make on bongo?
I never thought about that, but yeah. We was at a garden centre on the way back from our holiday, and we popped into this garden centre, and we went right to the back where all the different fruit trees are and that. And I said to Kelly, all I'm interested in is where the peach trees are and the nectarines and all that. And we eventually found them, and there was one tree there that I've always wanted to know what these look like. And I said, please, can we seen a quince tree? Have you ever seen a quince before?
I've never even heard of one.
Yeah, there was one quince tree, and I said, "Oh, they were all like 60 odd quid though." She says, "Oh, we'll do it next year or something. Let's get the garden straight first." You know what I mean? But going back to my mango tree just quickly, it weren't growing for some reason. It grew these two leaves, and then after that, through the spring into the summer of this year, it just started growing these little tiny offshoots, and then they were like it looked like a little crown on the top, but it was going brown and crusty, and they were just flaking off. And it just kept producing them and producing them. And I'll show you one of the days. It's on one of my streams or some of my videos. It grew like this cluster of like bubbles. It's weird. And I looked at it and I went, oh, "This is before I went on holiday." I says, I said like a little prayer to it. I can't even remember what I said. I said something like, "Lord, please help give this plant the energy to grow or wherever it needs," something on them lines. And I really meant it because I really wanted the plant to grow. And I just went on holiday. We came back anyway, and it's grew two lovely green stems with loads of leaves off it, and another one at the bottom with loads of leaves on it. And I'm like, yes, it's
Divine
actually growing
intervention.
again. It's fucking amazing. I was like shocked. I was like, yo, I'm doing this from now on, man. You know what I mean? I'm going to bless my plants. So I've put some cling film around it so that like a greenhouse sort of effect on it, and put it with the others outside on top of the log storage outside.
Now, you do know that we have traditional ways to bless and fertilize our land that we have done for centuries, generally around midsummer at harvest times. That I'm sure Kelly would be really interested in. You one of our rituals where you could recreate that in your back garden, where you have a little bonfire, a little fire in your garden, and stay throughout the night and fertilize your land and increase your produce. You could. I'm not sure if Kelly will go for it with you, but you can put it to her.
That opens a little story. That does, if you're ready to it, if you really want to hear it.
I'll go for it.
Okay, so since we moved here, you got to understand there's been a lot of garden waste, and the amount of times me and Kelly have been to the tip to get rid of garden waste, we've lost count. They're used to seeing us now. Although we haven't been for a while, we've laid it off for a bit. We've been going loads. You can just imagine all the ivy that's growing everywhere and everything else. There's just so much garden waste. We just got piles of it everywhere, still in the garden now. And so we haven't had a fire since we moved here. Since day one, we haven't had a single fire here, even though people have turned around to us and said, "Why don't you just burn it? Simple. Just burn it." With all ideas, Dad said, "Oh, we'll hire a skip." And it's like, it's going to take more than one skip, and it's a bit expensive. Like I say, other people have said, "Why don't you burn it?" And I'm like, we've just moved here, and I get where you're coming from, and I do want to go. I do go there in my head as well, but it's like I don't want to upset neighbours. We've just moved in here, and people can be a bit funny. Well, there's a
Oh,
guy, there's a foreigner, a few about 3 or 4 houses down, and he's had some garden work done. He's had next door to him's fence taken down. He's got little JCB diggers and God knows what in his garden. And whatever rubbish he's had, he's been having fires during the day, in the afternoon, late at night. And there's the people at the back across the way. There's a family that have we've all complained because in this little grove that we've got a neighborhood WhatsApp group,
yeah,
and we
yeah, but
talk about things. People say, like, who's having that fire at this time? You know what I mean? Well, there's this guy across the road, and he keeps on putting the hose over the fence to put this fire out on this garden. Well, one night, Kelly heard someone say, "You've got 20 seconds to put that fire out, otherwise I'm coming round there to put it out myself." So the guy put it out. They've had some history from him before, putting fires, starting fires and causing a lot of smoke. Well, getting to it now, I can't even remember how long ago this was. It must have been about a couple of weeks ago, something like that. Maybe a bit longer. We had a letter through the door from the council saying someone's reported us having fires. We haven't had a single fire. And Kelly's like, "Oh, they've got the wrong address. That it's supposed to be, I think it's 46, but they've got 56." So we've had that, and then Kelly phoned. There was a phone call recently, and the woman said, "Yeah, that area where you live is supposed to be a fire smoke free zone or something like that."
smoking gun, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I wasn't talking about. I wasn't meaning like a big bonfire. Like what I was talking about, a little, uh, a little fire pit, and
No, yeah,
yeah, sit around that all
yeah.
evening and have a bottle of wine or two, and then uh, fertilize the ground. Uh, yeah, that's how. Sorry for my coughing, but that's how we traditionally blessed our plants and ensured a good harvest. There was always drink and kerfuffles involved to try to keep it a bit family friendly. Yeah, you can tell Kelly I said that that's our tradition. If she would like to and ask her would she like to partake with you, uh, possibly do that from a different room. Uh, yeah. So where do we go to now? Where would you like to start from? Well, we'll start with what have you got that you think that you should have said in the last one that you would like to add in?
um, Loads of different things. Funnily enough, nothing's coming to mind at the moment. Um, I was somewhat tired as well. But we did
Yeah,
go on for like about 3 hours, didn't it? Something like
okay,
that. I don't know. I guess we'll just talk and just see where it goes. Yeah.
okay.
So that we was talking about when I started work, really, and
Yeah, your first job and how that
yeah,
all went.
yeah, and yeah. So I'm obviously still in the place that I've been started in 2014. It's a great job. Um,
You're in there 10 years now.
yeah, well, I think it's coming
All
up
right,
to 11 soon.
11.
Near enough, yeah, near enough. Um, yeah, I just get on with it. You know,
That's
the
a
work from.
that's a good solid job, which unfortunately is rare at the minute.
Yeah,
No, there's a lot of people have to go with agencies and change jobs and whatnot quite a bit just to keep in employment. So even just having that steadiness of a settled job that you're in for over a decade, that's nice to have.
yeah, I do have my worries. Like, you know, it's like I think to myself, it isn't a day that goes by that I'll think to myself, you know, could something happen or could I do something that causes me to lose this job? Is there something in the world that's going on behind the scenes that I'm not aware of that could cause me to lose a job? Because it's such a really good paid job. And I've been there for so long. I've got so used to the people around me, used to the routines that I've got into because of it. And I sometimes, like when I'm traveling on my buses, because I'm a bus wanker,
Yeah,
um, I'm traveling on the buses. And I'll sometimes I'm passing job centre or something like that, and I'll think to myself, I wonder what that's like for people now and how that runs, or is it even
yeah.
running at all? I don't know. Um, and what would that mean for me if I was to lose my job? What kind of how what's the difficulty level? Because from my experience of being in a job centre when I was a lot younger and going through the different jobs that I went through on and off, I noticed we went through into like the mid 2000s, from like 99 to like 2002, 2003, there onward after that, things just seemed to get really tough. They started taking the phones out of the job centres, they started taking the seating out of the job centres, and they got machines that just pump out tickets that you just search for jobs and all that. And I think it's universal credit, is it, and all that. It's just like, and it just started getting tougher and tougher and tougher for you. And these jobs that you would get into anyway would usually, like you say, be agency jobs, and you'd be lucky to be there for 2 weeks, best part of a month, before they're like getting you out the door again, and you've got to look for another job.
Well, what I will say is everything you said there leads me to believe you would be quite the conscientious employee, because anybody that has thoughts like that about what would I do without this job, they're the type of people that's likely to turn up one time, do what they're supposed to do, and keep their head down and do everything right because they feel a gravity to it. And this is what I need to do, as opposed to the people who tend to not keep their job, tend to have a very different attitude of it.
Mm, yeah. So you go.
Yeah, the other thing I will say is, see, whenever you're in somewhere for 10 years, uh, particularly if they've got lots of employees that come in after you, unless you do something really stupid, you're probably bulletproof. You've got to go well out of your way. And always remember that you do know somebody that's pretty good with employment law, as in me. If you've problems with HR, you email me and I'll figure stuff out for you. But
Mhm.
I honestly, the way you go about your life, I honestly think you're probably worrying a little bit too much. Although never take what you have for granted. The only thing I would change about how you're thinking about that is take the odd take the odd minute or two to sit back and think, actually, I've been doing this for 10 years and I'm thankful I've been able to do it, and where I am, and enjoy the fact that you've had the job for 10 years, as opposed to being panicking about not having it for the next 10 years.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
you This is something I learned personally in the last year. There is no success, is no finish line. It's not like you've started a marathon. I'm gonna, in your first step, you've got 26 miles or whatever the fuck it is to go, and how many yards. And whenever you get to the end, there's a clear cutoff point. Whenever you reach to being successfully employed, there's no brass band, there's no medals, there's no ticker tape parade. You're just doing it, and it passes without any real notice or recognition. And sometimes you need to have a think and go, actually, I'm well established here, and be happy with that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Nobody from your companies, nobody from any companies ever going to come to you and say, "Here, I'll tell you what it is. You're doing a really good job. We like you here, and we want you to continue working here." That conversation's never, ever going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You're just going to keep on turning up, doing your job, getting paid, and going home. But the reality is that sometime quite a while ago, you moved from being a new employee to a regular employee to being part of the furniture. and that bit passes you by. And particularly with your character, you probably don't realize how much you appreciate it. Because you've got that sort of a character, you share a character trait that I have as well, where a lot of the time, particularly with work and whatnot, I've never realized properly how secure it was or whether or not how well it was appreciated. I've only ever seen the downside. I made a slight mistake here, or I could have done that better, or whatever. And it is hard to get your head around at times.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Particularly if you've struggled with any other area of your life where validation and recognition hasn't really been readily forthcoming. And it transfers into other areas of your life where you don't realize that you are actually getting the validation you're seeking, but you're looking for it in a wrong way or whatever. See, is he getting into his amateur psychology? Oh, fuck. But you need to. That's a different show. Mr. Elephant. Fortunately, we have no liquid ass here. So, where do we go to now? Yeah, do your own thing. So, where do we go to next? Have you went through many different departments in the place you're working in, and don't dox yourself?
Wow.
Oh, here, don't worry about another elephant. It's all okay. I was just joking. Yeah, have you went through like 2 or 3 different departments?
I've been in the same section as the whole complex, pretty much.
Have you done different jobs?
Yeah, I've been what it's called.
Right. Oh no, don't go into details, but understand this. See if there's 10 different jobs within a section, and there's a person that's done 9 of them, or 8 of them, or all of the ones that are on their pay band. They're gold dust, because you can put them to
cross trained. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yep, if work slows down in one area, they can move you to another,
Yeah.
without having to go through the palaver of trying to train you from green labour.
Mm. Yeah.
So well, it's good that you have a healthy respect for your job and what you need to do to keep it. Maybe focus a little bit more on enjoying the fact that you have it than worrying about it.
Yeah. I do have days where I look up at the sky and I'm very grateful and I just smile.
Excellent.
You know? Yeah. But then there'll be days where it's usually when I'm on the bus and I'll just be like, I wonder how long. What I say is it's as if someone else is in control of my life, and it's like, I'll go, how long are you going to have me doing this for then? To you sort of weave something else into my life that's some sort of catastrophe, and everything starts falling down. And I know I shouldn't think like that too much, but it's, sometimes you just can't help thinking like that. What's going on in the world. I have bad days like that where I'll start thinking on the negative. Yeah.
Everybody has that. Anybody that tells you that they're always happy all the time and always hopeful all the time, they're lying not only to you but also to themselves.
Mm-hmm. Included for sure.
Yeah, and that's probably unhealthy.
Yeah.
Fuck me. People get themselves in the states of delusions, and then they start to believe things like men are women and women are men, and everything's all interchangeable and all. And that can. If you delude yourself about how your life is and what you're enjoying and what you're not enjoying, what your hopes are, what your fears are, if you delude yourself about that, it's only a hop, skip, and a jump to deluding yourself about everything else, because the right and wrong, truth and false is gone.
Yeah.
And once that goes, everything falls.
Then everything else starts suffering, don't it?
Yeah. So, what age were you whenever you started that job?
How old was I?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It was about 10 years ago. What age are you now?
I was 32. I was 32 when I started that job. Yeah.
And how did that all fit in with the music and the other stuff that you like?
To be honest with you, the first couple of years I was doing that job, I was just like, okay, yeah, my attitude was like, I got another job, this is great, money's good and all that. And then after a few more years after that, it started to grind on me and I started to feel the pressure and the weight that comes with the job. And I wasn't getting involved in my music as much. I was usually spending more time relaxing. But I still would try to find the time for music. As time went by, I think it was around about when I met Kelly. She sort of brightened my life up, and she gave me that confidence again. And I felt cheery in myself a bit more, and it pushed me to want to see what my capabilities are. And I started thinking, if I carry on pushing my music and other things that I want to do, maybe I might be able to get somewhere in life and maybe even get a better career out of something and do something that I really enjoy, But yeah.
Oh, see anybody tells you they enjoy their work, there's something wrong.
Yeah,
Honestly, it's called work for a reason.
reason. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not called eating chocolate biscuits. It's not called uh, big titted redheads. It's not. It's work. You and the whole idea about it is to figure out how much money you can earn for X amount of hours and make that work, and understand that the work is the means to the end, not the end. And is this sustainable? Is the job going to be here tomorrow? Can I live on these wages? And whenever you've got that settled, it's like, right, bump, this bit gets sectioned off to the side. This is what I've got to do to make everything else. And then do everything else with that that makes you happy.
right.
Oh, yeah. I am a cynical bastard. I am very fucking cynical. The other thing I would say about work is you turn up and you normally do job A, and they go, see today, I need you to do job B. And instead of thinking, oh fuck, that's not my job, I'm gonna have to do blah 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 blah, what you think is it the same amount of hours? Yes, it is. Is it the same amount of money? Yes, it is. Well, fuck whatever. Uh, I'll just go ahead and do that because I'm getting the same money for the same hours. It's the
See,
same amount.
I never used to think like that before, but funnily enough, I do now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's I'm trading you X amount of my hours for X amount of money, and see whatever it is I need to do to get that amount of money. Yeah, work away. You're giving me a job that I could do standing on my head. Excellent, please do. Because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do that in half the time that it takes everybody else. And then I'm going to use that other half of the time to write a poem, do something else, get my emails caught up, whatever. Yeah, you're giving me the same money for the same amount of time. Work away.
right.
Because you, unless you're there on a mission to become the chief operating officer and take over the country and the company and totally change everything, if you're not on that mission, well, fuck it's all right. This for this money for this amount of time. Work away. And whenever I got my head, I'm in a factory 30 odd years, and it took me to get my head around that before I actually felt properly settled. Because every time they moved me, and I've been moved around the place, around a lot of jobs, for various reasons. At the beginning, I was like, "Oh, fuck, I don't want to go and do that," but then I realized, actually, do you know what? Every job on my level in this hangar, I know how to do. And whenever they're scrimping about trying to find work for everybody because at times there isn't enough work for everybody, I'm pretty easy for them to find a job for because I can go to anywhere. Whereas there's people that can only do certain jobs and they have problems finding somewhere to relocate them to. So it gives me an advantage in whatever's going on inside the company. Although, having said that, with the factory I'm in, the length of time I've been in, I'm pretty bulletproof. And I would say you're not that far away from that either if you have a realistic look at it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, before this holiday that I had, there was like two weeks of non-production, and that's what my rant was all about. When I done a stream, and I was just ranting off. And I was effing and blinding on the amount of times I was effing on that. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, they pretty much did more or less what I figured they were going to do. But it's not so much, like I say, I see it differently now. It's not so much the fact that they're going to put you somewhere because the management don't want to see you around and about in their factory, not doing their full. It's more the fact that it doesn't work out fair, because if only a certain amount of people have got to go and work over in a certain area, and then the rest of you are going to get away with it. It's like, I mean, we've got another week when we go back. When I go back Monday, we've got another week of non-production. So, and I just thought to myself, well, look, the way I see it is, I don't think it's fair. However, if I do get picked as one of the people that's got to go off, I think it's like about 15, 20-minute walk to this other area that they want you to go and work in. I thought, just get it done. Whatever they want you to do, just get it done. And it's just one day in it, you know what I mean? And then you've done it, and then it's on to the next person. That's the way I see it. But I still don't think it works out fair, the way they do it, because what they do is, if no one volunteers, they just get people to pick a number, and then whoever is that number on the register, say like I'm number 19, and then someone says 19, I've then got to pick someone's pick a number, and then whoever that is in the register, they've got to bloody go. And I said to someone, I don't think that's fair, because someone's going to eventually learn whose name is next to what bloody number, and then be spiteful and deliberately pick that person. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what started happening.
Do they not do the thing where they rip up all the numbers and put them in the plastic cup, and so somebody has to pick one?
That did happen like once. And I did suggest bringing that back, but
yeah.
Do
that, you know what you need to do? You need to check some of the other numbers as well to make sure it wasn't all the same number that went in.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
that's happened in our place.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them to do that sort of thing as well. Yeah.
Right. We're on 45 minutes. We'll have a little musical interlude.
Yeah, sure.
Do you have any? You don't really have any of your stuff. Let me see. Hold on. Here we go.
Oh yeah, that was my last stream, wasn't it? Yeah. I don't know, but the sound quality was terrible on this stream for some reason. It kept getting all bitty and strange.
Yes, I was trying to find. Peter does this music with this and stuff. I'll be totally honest with you. I could not tell you the difference between dance, trance, or any of that stuff. But what I do know is, whenever Peter's streaming that, I like to have it on as background music, and I do get quite into it whenever I'm doing my housework and cleaning and whatnot, and I like listening to it. So there's that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't have like a complete song, and that sound quality is a little off.
It is.
What we'll play for a musical interlude, I think we will play bum 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 bum. I know what we'll play. We will play Unlucky Moore. Wait a For some unknown reason, I was having problem finding that there. One momento, we get past these advertisements.
So I should just grab a drink.
Yep, yes, go grab a drink. I'm going to put
Cheers.
the mirror on. Get yourself sorted out. And I'll play this. Present or invite. Share screen. Share screen. StreamYard. Here we go. A little bit of Elkie Mirror.
Where has the been since I saw thee on Ilklamo Batat? Where has the been since I saw thee? Where has the been since I saw thee? On Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat. There's been a courty Mary Jane on Ilklamo Batat. There's been a court in Mary Jane. There's been a court in Mary Jane. On Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat. They'll go and get the death a cowl on Ilklamo Batat. They'll go and get the death a cowl. They'll go and get the death a cowl. On Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat. Then we shall have to bury thee. On Ilklamo Batat. Then we shall have to bury thee. Then we shall have to bury thee. On Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat. Then the worms will come and net thee up. On Ilklamo Batat. Then the worms will come and net thee up. Then the worms will come and net thee up. On Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat. Then the ducks will come and net up the worms. On Ilklamo Batat. Then the ducks will come and net up the worms. Then the ducks will come and net up the worms. On Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat. Then us will come and net up the ducks. On Ilklamo Batat. Then us will come and net up the ducks. Then us will come and net up the ducks. On Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat. Then us will all have it and thee. On Ilklamo Batat. Then us will all have it and thee. Then us will all have it and thee. On Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat. That's where we'll get our Owen back. On Ilklamo Batat. That's where we'll get our Owen back. That's where we'll get our Owen back. On Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat.
There we go. A nice bit of Elkie Muir by Tat. Nice traditional English song. Who do I want to say hello to? One momento. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Outer Post Zone. Welcome aboard, chum. Actually an Ulsterman, British, but welcome aboard, Mr. Scotchman. And I can understand your confusion. So it's all good. But I do have an aversion to being called Irish. There you go. Now, Peter, outside of almost getting yourself kidnapped on the way to work, what other crazy shit have you got up to?
Oh. Where do I start? Let me try and see if I can think. Are you where? What? Oh God. I've told you the story of when my mate kicked me in the river, and
Oh, it's whenever you were getting chased with bullies.
some bully was chasing him through. We was at a river. We was at a bridge.
Yeah.
Who was messing about, walking in and out of the bridge, and I didn't realise this guy was after my mate specifically. I thought he was after both of us. So running under this, like it was like a bridge, but it was like a tube, and where the water flew out the other side of the tube in this, it was like a brook. It went out onto like a concrete platform, and then it ran down into the brook, which had wore like about a 6 to 8 foot deep trench in the brook, and then it sort of sloped back up to about 1 foot the rest of the brook. So me and my mate had going through this tunnel. Oh, he's coming through the other side. He's coming through the other side. Go around the other side. Coming through the other side, and there's like these two concrete ledges either side of the tube. So we're going across like that to go get up the grass verge and climb up and get away from this guy. He says, "Oh, my mate says, oh, he's coming round. He's coming round." Saw him coming round, so I turned round to go back through the tube. My mate's booted me, and I've gone flying, landed on this concrete platform just in front of the tube where the water's flowing. It was absolutely coated in algae, so I'm slipping all over the place. The next minute, you know, the inevitable happened. I've just gone splooge in the water, and I instinctively just started doing the breaststroke across this brook. I had one of them ski jackets on that you used to have when you were younger, with a picture of a ski guy on it and a few mountains, a red hood. I had one of them. It's absolutely
the puffer jackets filled with down.
Yeah, it's absolutely full of water. Leeches on me.
They get a bit heavy whenever they're wet.
Yeah. And then to be told by the guy after everyone's finished laughing, I wasn't after you, I was after him. I think I've said that one. The thing about the amazing thing about that one was they ended up attacking him in the end, and he started. I walked off across the grass, and he was crying and everything in anger. Yeah. And he said something to God. He said he wanted to kill him or something. And then there was a random pen knife. You know them pen knives, all the different things on.
Yeah, like Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, it was one of them on the grass right in front of him. And I was like, "Don't do what I think you're going to do." But he didn't. He walked off home, like sort of thing. I think he got his dad to come and pick us up or something. Other things that I've got up to. God. You know about me jumping out of the block of flats because someone was trying to stab me up. Well, they did stab me up on my books. And then loads of mad stories like that. Loads of mad stories. Nothing coming to mind at the moment. Oh, I'm going to have to flick through my life to try and see if I can pick some up. I'll tell you a little story. So this one's funny. This is where do I start with this one? So my first flat that I lived with my brother. He used to bring obviously a few of his mates round, and one of them was like a bit of a drug dealing kind of guy. That he was really close to. He's not friends with him anymore. He's recently, in the last couple of years or so, he's fell out with him for whatever reason. And he came round with his mate, and they had this fucking whippet dog with him, a young. He's only young. It was only like a puppy, not a really young puppy, like just a really small, like young whippet dog. This chocolate brown whippet dog. And I says, where did you get that from? I says, we can't have that in the house. And he went, oh, he says, we found it and it just followed us. So I got this bloody whippet dog.
Hold on. Whippets generally belong to people that train them and race them.
Is
Whippets
is a whippet the same as a greyhound, or is it?
It's a small greyhound, but they're
Yeah,
also raced and they're very specialist dog, and they're not the type of dog that you tend to find just walking about stray.
no, but
Because they're looked
yeah,
after because they're an asset for more than a dog.
but trust me, we're getting to that bit.
Yeah.
42, man. But because I thought the same thing when he said that to me, I'm like, nah, they're worth though they are. You can't have just fucking found that. You know, I knew there was something dodged to it from the start. But I was like, okay, whatever, you know. And they just lumbered me with this dog. And it went into my room and it sat right in front of my fucking bass speaker.
What?
And it shut this nasty runny shit right in front of my bass speaker, and some of it had gone on the wire that was coming round the speaker in front of it. And I remember moving this wire and gagging, and then I looked a little bit closer, and you could see like worms wiggling around in its bird,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh no, the dog's got worms! Holy shit!" Anyway, they fuck off and they leave me with this dog. And I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this fucking dog? Anyway, they come back a little bit later. And some Jehovah Witnesses knock on the door, right? And I don't know the whole story of that side of it because they're the ones that went to the front door and spoke to these Jehovah Witnesses. Well, they let the Jehovah Witnesses are there apparently going, oh, I can hear them. I can hear them going, oh, does it bite and all this sort of fucking thing. And
We've got a
my
straight.
brother was just like, you can have it, you know, we don't know whose it is sort of thing or whatever they were saying, you know. And they ended up giving this dog, as far as they told me, ended up going with these Jehovah Witnesses, and that was the last I saw of it. I was like, good riddance. It's fucking gone. I don't want it shitting around my house. And that should have been the end of that, right? Little did I know how much fucking shit it was going to fucking cause at our door. So a little bit later on in the afternoon.
So you'd some friends that arrived with a whippet dog, and then later on that same day gave that dog to Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yes, it's crazy, and it's crazy. Can you imagine how fucking funny that story ended up fucking being to try and cross that over to the fucking owners of that dog that chased me up? So later on that afternoon, I left out my flat, and there's a guy that I hadn't seen since I left secondary school sitting on the bars outside my block, and then I noticed his aunt was sitting outside with him. And he was pacing. He got up as I came out, and he's pacing up and down on the grass with his phone in his hand. And I was like, bloody hell, that's so and so from fucking school. I ain't seen him for fucking ages. Look how tall he's got. And I noticed his aunt straight away because she used to work in the news agents all the time from when I was a little kid all the way through till like when I left that junior school. So I used to see her in the corner shop on the way to school. So I knew her face straight away. And he turns around to me. I can't even remember, not that it matters, where I was going at the time. And he says, excuse me. He says, you haven't seen a whippet dog about that big, like a dark brown one, have you? And I went, mate, I said, I can help you with that. I said, my brother came to the flat with a whippet dog with that description earlier today. And his face changed and he went, right, where's your brother? And I went, I don't know where he went. He went off with his mate Craig, and he said, what's his last name and all this? And he's like, who's this, that and the other? And I was like, oh, bloody hell. I says, mate, I says, I understand you're upset because you've lost your dog and all that, man, but I'm just telling you what I know. That's all I know is my brother, 1 minute, has got this dog. It's in my flat. Then Jehovah Witnesses turn up and the dog goes with the Jehovah Witnesses. And he goes, come on, man. He says, Jehovah Witnesses took the dog and he went, pull the other one. He's like, where's my fucking dog, sort of thing. And because you can understand, he's lost a really expensive dog. And I'm telling him what I'm telling him, and it sounds like a load of porcupines. So I can understand why he was so angry. And because he didn't have nobody else to be angry with, I can see why he was unloading all of his fucking anger out on me. And he was poking me and probing me for more information. And where's my dog? I want my dog, and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, look, I'm telling you what I'm telling you, and that is all I fucking know. The dog is not in my fucking flat. Later on, when my brother and his mate are back, I tell them this, and I'm like, you never guess who's been outside and this, that, and the other, and told them. This guy comes back to my house with a load of fucking people's faces that most of them I remember being bullies at school, all behind him. He's got his brother with him. He's got this, that, and the other. And I'm looking at these faces going, fucking, I ain't seen you for ages. I ain't seen you for ages. And they're all like, yo, we're ready to go down on you, man. Where's our dog? Right. And I was like, I told you what I told you. And I says, and I can understand how fucking silly it sounds. And I said, that's how it is. And he went, let me come in your flat to prove that the dog's not in there. And I went, yeah, sure. Go in my flat. And he checked all the rooms. And I says, I told you the dog's not here. And he still wouldn't take it for an answer that, oh, Jehovah Witnesses fucking took the dog. Do you know how fucking silly that sounds? And I went, I know. And one of them threatened to fucking beat me up. And I went, look, so it ain't going to change what I fucking know. You know what I mean? I can't even remember what happened in the end, but my brother turned around to me in the end and he told me the truth of what happened, because it made sense what the guy told me in the end when he was outside. He said, that dog hasn't gone missing, just like gone missing and like escaped. He said someone has smashed our kennels up and broke in and took that dog. So my brother never confessed to whether he actually got involved in smashing the kennels to take the dog, but he did say that they found the dog. But that's how I got to find out anyway. He told me that they smashed the kennels. But my brother said he denied any of that. He says, no, we ain't done nothing like that. We just found the dog and that's that. And it always made me wonder.
Right,
Then,
hold on. Let's deconstruct this just a little.
Yeah.
We'll make sense of it. So the guy with your brother that arrived with the dog, he's the person that was dealing the drugs.
Yeah.
And this is all within a local area and people seem to know each other a bit.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe the guy with the dog owed the drug dealer money and he took the dog because he couldn't get the fucking money off them?
You know, now you put it like that. Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
I never really thought of it like that. You know.
There's a girl in Belfast called Lisa Dorian who has been missing for, I don't know, 20, 25 years. But she never did come back, and that was all over a drug debt. So I think if his dog went missing and he did get it back or he never got it back, he's got off light. Maybe he didn't owe that much money. But that's what... To me, that sounds like that might be what happened here. Because he's hardly going to turn up and go, oh, Spanish, it wasn't the drug dealer, it was the person that owed the money had to whip it. The drug dealer probably had a Rottweiler. Or similar.
Yeah. Yeah, I just remember the guy saying to me, like, somewhat when he told me that as well, I was like, no fucking way. And I started imagining my brother doing something like that. I was like, would he? And I thought to myself, oh, I don't know. But then with what you said, it depends on what sort of situation he was in at the time, I suppose.
Yeah,
He ain't going to tell me that. And this guy as well, that makes so much more sense because this guy that the drug dealer mate, my brother was always, he used to do like the 9 bars of draw,
yeah,
the wraps of resin. And he always used to take, if there was like a bit on the end that didn't quite work out as like an eighth or whatever it was, that
yeah.
it's skive that for
Because
him. It's sub it off for himself. And he ran up a really big debt with this guy. And it went on for a long time. He'd run up this big debt with this drug dealer mate of his. So maybe that has something to do with it as well. I really don't know. Who knows?
Does drug debt in England multiply the same way that it does here?
Does what?
So
Sorry?
does it multiply the same way that it does here? So for sake of argument, if you owe a drug dealer 40 quid, right? And you come to him the next Friday with the £40, they go, yeah, that's the £40, but you owe me £40 interest, so you still owe me 40 quid. And then next week that becomes £80. Then the £80 becomes £160. Then the 103 becomes 320. Then the 320 becomes 640. And then it becomes a debt that you're never ever going to be able to get out from under.
Yeah. I've only ever go on.
The interesting thing is, as bad as payday lenders are, they're not drug dealers, and there is some form of rules, and they don't enforce their rules with guns. So how a lot of people end up with thousands in drug debt is it's not the actual debt that they owe, it's the interest that's accumulated on a weekly basis. Billy, there are no fucking Jews where I live. I'm not going to say who the dealers are, but it's definitely not Jews. In fact, I would say that they are very British and patriotic. Is all I can say about it. We do have British patriotic drug dealers where I live. We also have British patriotic people that will sell you tobacco very cheap. So it's just the way it is. For example, yes, there's an interesting one. See where you live, are there shops that only exist to sell like cheap tobacco? And they've maybe got a bit of Billy, I will talk to you a bit offline. But are there shops that like corner shops that do like snag tobacco and stuff?
I'm not so sure so much now, but there used to be when I was younger, when I was actually doing smoking and
Yeah. Oh, trust me, if they were there then, they're still here now.
Yeah, well, yeah, then.
Right. Okay. Who was running those shops? Was it English people or was it foreigners?
Usually foreigners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, because where I live, we have those same sort of shops that everybody complains about in England that sell the cheap tobacco and tobacco is all tax. Yeah, so we've got people will sell you it without the tax, or it's contraband or whatever. Every city has them, but it seems in England, the English people don't run those types of shops. They leave all that business to the foreigners. And where I live, it's people from the local area that do that, and then any savings, not only is the local community getting savings if they want it, because there's some people that'll do that and some people that won't, but it's also benefiting people that actually live in the community because they get to work in that shop and run and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will agree that those fake ciggies are indeed pure stinking, and I do not use them for that reason. Yeah, and they're all poison, but that's pretty. But it seems to me strange that the English that Scammell cigarettes. It seems to me strange that English people don't seem to take up that business model whenever there's obviously a call for it.
I can remember when I was smoking, when I was in my 20s. I didn't even know this was a thing. I had my weed, but I had no tobacco or nothing. Didn't have a fag. And then in walks my brother, and he's got this fag, and I said, "Yo, give us a fag." And he says, I've only got this." And he said, "Why don't you go down the road and get a fag?" And I was like, "What the hell are you on about?" And he said, "Get a 20." I said, "I paid 20p for a fag. Ask him down the road for a fag for 20p, and he'll give you a fag for 20p." And I'm like, "Are you fucking joking me? Seriously, no, you haven't just got that off someone." And sure enough, it was a thing. You could just buy a fag for 20p. And I was like, "Yo."
The ice cream van that pulled up outside my school used to sell them for 10p.
Yeah.
Used to
10p.
Yeah, look, I swear to fuck, we're in Belfast. It's the middle of winter. It's pissing down with rain. You're at a school, and all of a sudden you hear the ding 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 noise of an ice cream van, and all these kids go out to the ice cream van, and none of them comes back with any fucking ice cream.
Fucking hell.
Oh, that's something I always thought was a bit weird. And then everybody, and then they go direct from there to the back of the bike shades.
Well disguised, eh?
Right, now I've found a fitting musical interlude, so I'm going to play this. After that story about the dog and the Mormons and all of that madness, I think this is actually quite fitting. Here we go. Share screen.
I went home with the waitress, the way I always do. How was I to know she was with the Russians too? I was gambling in Havana. I took a little risk. Send lawyers, guns, and money. Dad, get me out of this. Ha! I'm the innocent bystander. Somehow I got stuck between a rock and a hard place, and I'm down on my luck. Yes, I'm down on my luck. Well, I'm down on my luck. I'm hiding in Honduras. I'm a desperate man. Send lawyers, guns, and money. This shit has hit the fan. All right, send lawyers, guns, and money. Huh. Send lawyers, guns, and money. Send lawyers, guns, and money. Hey! Send lawyers, guns, and money. Oh! Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck. Forgot to unmute myself. There we go. Lawyers drunk away. See if we can get that dog back. Do you know, did they ever get it back?
No, I don't know. Oh fucking hell. I think they did. It's such a long time ago. I hope they did. I mean,
But
even
so,
though it had worms, it was still a nice dog.
yeah, so it all just fizzled out at your end of it then?
Yeah. I thought it was going to cause so much fucking trouble, but eventually they accepted what I said. There wasn't that much that could do, really. So
Go find the Jehovah's Witnesses. Oh, fuck. Oh,
I think if I remember rightly, they did actually find the Jehovah Witnesses with the dog. Can you imagine the disbelief though, and then just seeing the dog with two Jehovah Witnesses? It's like, wow.
and then going, that fucker was telling the truth.
So, yeah. I would love to have been with him the moment he's seen that dog with him. Yeah.
Go like, yeah,
I
see,
thought I was doing such a good thing by telling him when I stepped out that block, and he's like, "Oh, excuse me, have you seen the?" I was like, "Oh, you're speaking to the right man." I thought I was doing the right thing, and then I just get all this grief. Fucking hell.
Have you had like what dog? No, haven't seen anyone. Haven't even seen a cat.
It got to that point, 40, where I actually thought, so when they're all at my door, I'm like, fuck, I should have just kept my fucking mouth shut, man. Jesus.
Oh, fuck. How are the cats all settling then?
We've got another one over here now. We're going to be bringing some more over soon. And then when the building's finished, we should have them all over here. And then that's that one fucking done. And then the next thing to do would be say bye-bye to my flat, and that's an extra £800 in the bank a month that I'm fucking hemorrhaging, fucking keeping that fucking place going, just to house some bloody cats. It's crazy. Yeah, so...
Do you know that there's a cat game show?
A cat game show?
Yeah. I keep getting advertisements for it on YouTube. cats win prizes, and they get the owners. I can't fucking find the actual proper video. It's probably only in the advertisements, but they get the owners to create. They've got cardboard boxes. They've got all sorts of stuff there, and they get the cats to do different tricks and things, and somebody actually wins, and they judge it and everything. It's the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my life. But the prize is the combined weight of the contestant and the cat and litter and a golden litter tray. It's the weirdest shit I've ever seen.
I wonder if Kelly knows anything about it.
Oh, she's probably blissfully unaware that it exists, because it was one of those advertisements on YouTube that I decided once to continue watching because I couldn't quite believe it was as mad as it was.
She watches all sorts of stuff, man, so I won't be at all surprised. Although she probably would have said something to me, but then did she mention it to me and I wasn't really taking any notice, really?
Never say that. You hear absolutely everything Kelly says. There's no circumstance under which you do not take full interest in what Kelly's telling you.
Oh, it doesn't seem to matter what it is. She's always right. She's always right, no matter what it is. She's always right. She guessed my weight. I've done it again, and I was on the carnivorous diet. And
Right.
2 weeks holiday comes along again, and when we stopped off at this mate of hers house, Rich, she's got this massive house, and all Kelly's mates are fucking rich from rich backgrounds. Yeah, we was only supposed to stay there one night. We ended up staying there 2 nights, and we was going backwards and forwards every time we was hungry to the fucking Weatherspoons down the road. We'd have breakfast there, come back. Some hours later, go back down there, have something else to eat, come back. Next morning, straight down to Weatherspoons again. And so, like, I'm making a note of how much weight I've lost. When I started, I was 15 stone, 2 pounds. And I got myself all the way down. This was like, I was loving this, man, because this is a fucking triumph for me. Got myself down to 14 stone 8 pounds, and then weighed myself when I got back. And Kelly, I said to Kelly, before I jump on these scales, do you want to guess? And she went, yeah, I reckon 1503. So I stripped all down, man, got on the fucking scales, and I closed my eyes, and she went, yes. And I looked and I went, no fucking way, 1503. So not only have I gone backwards, man, but I've put 1 pound extra on than when I fucking started. So since then I've lost another three pound. But I've still got a long way to go, man. Because I was having like 2 burgers a meal and a fucking load of scampi in a little pot.
Yep.
So it's no bloody wonder.
Are you doing any cardio?
No.
No.
The only work I seem to be doing is the work I'm doing in the garden. I should do more, really. I'm having trouble with doing certain exercises though because of my sciatica.
What do you like with walking?
It depends how my back is when I wake up in the morning.
All right.
It seems to be my left side as well, because when I wake up with bad backache and I get up in the morning and I start walking, I'll notice my ball joint on the left side. I'll feel some slight pain as I'm walking. Yeah, so it's more the left side than on the right. And I just don't want to. I don't want to. If I drop something, I don't want to bend down and pick it up anymore because my back's so fucked. It's like, Jesus Christ. You know what I
Bent
mean?
with your knees. Bent with your knees.
Yeah.
Oh, and do you want to know the other benefit of bending with your knees? It means you do plenty of squats during the day without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Keep your
Never
back
thought
straight.
about that. Yeah.
Keep your back straight and do a squat.
Yeah, I think I will.
Yep,
Think I
and
will.
I totally agree. Spanish chicken, Peter, you do look good. Like you, I'm not saying. What I mean to say is, you don't look overweight. You don't look like somebody that needs to lose weight.
It's going all on my stomach. That's why.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Yes, I know all about that. It started whenever I had about 45. Whenever I had 40, up to I was 45, I used to have a six pack, and at 45, it just traded itself in the beer barrel and a barrel. And I've tidied up my diet as well at the moment. I had got really bad eating habits. I've got really expensive eating habits. I had found the most expensive way possible to buy the shittiest food ever, and I had no organization. I never had more than like I had 2 days food organized. That would have been a lot, and I've begun to lose weight from I got that organized and actually eat more regularly and have it planned out, and it's also saved me a fucking fortune too. But I'm more fond of my meat than my carbs. Definitely. How you finding the carnivore diet? Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, as long as I stay on it. Yeah. I'll, I'll be okay for like 2-3 days, and then when I realise I'm getting somewhere, I'll just start having these constant cravings to go over to the fridge and have something to eat, like impulsively, and it's like, no, you don't. You're doing so well. Stay away from the bloody fridge. Stay away from the cupboards. And it's just like something's convincing me, like, maybe just like a crafty biscuit or like a chocolate bar or an ice cream. You'll dissolve it. It'll be all right, and then you can just do some work in the garden. Everything will be all right. And then one day leads to another day. I'll just do that thing again what I did yesterday because it'll be all right. And it just adds up, don't it? And you just
Yeah.
slowly start putting a few pounds on again. Or you'll just be leveling out on the scales every day because you're not getting nowhere really. So I've got to start doing all that all over again now. Coming down in the morning. I'll be back at work, so that'll help as well. Because Kelly says it's not healthy. She's always concerned about me not going to work and that. Because I used to take a back lunch all the time and then come home, have my tea. And that's the way it was. But nowadays, I don't even take anything to work with me. I'll just go hungry, no breakfast, all day, hungry, come home, have my
Well,
tea. That's my
well,
meal.
we'll see if you want to lose weight. Eat something whenever you get out of bed in the morning. I don't
Yeah,
care if it's an apple. I don't care if it's a banana. I don't care if it's a bit of ribeye steak that you've got from the night before. But whenever you get out of bed, eat something because your metabolism stops burning. When in order for your metabolism to burn any fat off, it needs to be working. And from you stop eating at say 8 o'clock in the evening until 7 o'clock the next morning whenever you're out of bed, your metabolism will wind itself down, particularly if you haven't done any exercise, so it doesn't need to burn anything. and your metabolism should be starting in the morning and then working all day. But because you're not eating until you come home from work, then your metabolism's not starting until then. You in order to burn fat, you want your metabolism running 24/7. Now it's naturally going to cool down at night, and there's not a lot really you can do. You can do that unless you want to do a lot of exercise right before bed. That's the only thing I'll sort that. But by not getting out of bed and kick starting it, you're delaying it starting to burn any fat. Oh, the other thing that I would advise is, like, if you like peanuts, like monkey nuts, like a handful of monkey nuts is enough to have 2 or 3 times across a morning to keep everything going.
Will cashew nuts do the same thing?
Well, cashew nuts would do the same thing.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, nuts are the other thing is nuts are full of protein.
Yeah,
Protein's
yeah, I
what,
know that.
protein's what you need for muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you need something to start it off. To be clear and fair, my knowledge about that and stuff is mostly what I got from talking to people that I knew that happened to be Army PTIs, physical training instructors, and they go into, well, you always see them making people run from here to there. They actually do learn all the science behind it and the diet and nutrition and all that sort of stuff. And what they told me was to keep it really simple. What you want to do is make your metabolism work as much as you can. So you need to be eating whenever your feet touch the ground in the morning. You want to be eating as soon as you can. Doesn't have to be much, just has to be enough to get your metabolism going. The other thing I said is the other thing for losing weight is the length of the exercise that you're doing, not the intensity. So, for example, if you can walk at a 1 second. If you can walk at a brisk pace with a bit of weight on you, that's going to make you begin to get out of breath, and then calm it down to a normal walk where you're not out of breath but not extremely comfortable, and do that for a period of time. That's what's going to burn the fat off.
Mm-hmm.
Long. There's a reason why armies have always always trained by road marching, 20 minutes a mile with weight on, that with weight in your back. That's the pace that armies move at. And while they do a lot of stuff where whenever they're training to make them run from point A to point B, that's more for a military purpose, because they're going to have to move people at times from one place to another pretty quickly, and they might have to run. It's to learn that, but the actual meat and bones of getting the weight cut down and getting them to fitness is done on long road marches. And there's a guy in the chat there, RPW Media. His son's a ranger, and I would say he'll probably tell you the same thing. It's that this is the information that we had from the 70s and 80s, before they started to change medicine, basically. And all the new fad ideas come out. So it probably works. Uh, so there we go. Right, where were we? Because I seem to have took us on a large tangent.
Um, can't really think of anything. I have to start thinking about my past. Um, at the moment, though, I'm presently thinking a lot about my brother because I didn't even know. I did not even know that he was going through. He had mental issues. I didn't even know. I always splitting from my brother apart in ways. I always saw my brother as a strong character.
Yeah,
Um, and then to find out that life has gone on top of him and he started, you know, with developing issues, mental problems, and that to the point where out of the blue he's just texting me or phoning me, and anything he's got to say to me is negative, and it's usually, why has this person said that you've said this about me behind my back, and apparently you're supposed to have done this and told this, and it's like, I don't even see these people anymore, so why are you even, what? And I'd tell him, and then he'd go away and he'd leave it for a bit, and then maybe a few weeks, month down the line, I'll have another conversation with him. It'd be more or less the same sort of thing. And I've spoke to him recently. He's even been in and out of hospital. Um, tried to take his life last time recently. Um, ended up in hospital again. Crying on the phone to me. I phoned him up, and he just wanted to be left alone. Um, and I worry about him. So I'm constantly been keeping in contact with him, and he's saying, "Yeah, I'm okay. We'll have to link up one day and have a chat about things."
but it never actually seems to
No,
be the right time to do it.
no, because again, the last thing it was, to my understanding, it had actually his missus had got a house. Because it all started to spiral out of control for him when the house he was renting off a private, it was private rents. That person kicked them out, and because of the way his Mrs. Mum is, she's a funny one apparently. He couldn't stay with her and the kids at the mum's house, so he had to bunk up. He was at my mum's, caused a load of financial problems with my mum, taking money off my mum, maxed the credit card out of hers, got into trouble with my mum's boyfriend who kicked him out of the house. Then he's asking me
Oh,
if I
oh,
can look
oh, oh,
after him.
oh. Pete, hold
Yeah.
on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. See all the issues he had with your mum?
Yeah.
Do you think is that maybe the reason why he couldn't stay at his girlfriend's mother?
I can't see why. I can't
Well,
see why.
oh no, but see, here's the thing. He came out of that house into your mother's house as someone that was a bit messed up and needy.
Mm.
Because you don't go from fully functional to defrauding your parents like that. It's not an instant change. There's that when you get to the point where you're using your parents' money as your own, you have already went past so many uh, boundaries that should have told you no, that's a bad thing to do. That it's not a new behavior. So could it be that the reason why his wife didn't want them staying at her mother's house is because these behaviors had already started, and maybe that's why they had to get out of the rented accommodation?
Uh, could be. Could be. Um,
If I was you, I would ask him that
Yeah. I
and
know
see
my
what.
mum said there's other things to it as well that have,
Yeah,
you know.
there has to be. You you don't you don't get to crossing those lines without there being a lot of other stuff as well.
I mean, I know my brother used to take off my mum when we was little. He was the one that would go in my mum's purse and take from my mum. I would never think of doing anything like that
Yeah,
to my mum. And then, like before I even knew that my mum had given him a credit card, um, he started calling me up and asking me for money, and I'd borrow him 20 quid here, and then he turned around and said, I don't suppose you could borrow me a bit more. So I'd give him a bit more, pay you on so and so. And then one day when I went round to my mum's with Kelly, we was talking about it, and my mum said, he ain't going to give you that money. He ain't even got a fucking job. And I'm like, what you on about? I thought he was working at, for his mate on a building site and getting some decent money. Oh, no, he ain't got that job anymore. He ain't had that for a while now. Nah. And then that's when she popped up and told me about the credit card and how much he's maxed his card out apparently. And I'm like, she said, you got better accept that you ain't going to see that money again. And then before you know it, my mom's boyfriend's finding out about it all. And she said, whatever you do, don't fucking tell him about the card because you'll fucking hit the roof and all that. He found out through some other means about it all, kicked him out. And then, as I say, my brother's asking me if I can move, if he can move in with me, and I'm like,
that's
no,
that.
I don't want that. I don't want you fleecing off me. And plus, when we lived in the first flat we moved into, he left that flat and then needed to come back, and I let him back in because he's my brother, and I did miss him. And he absolutely wrecked the sofa, and he wasn't bringing anything into the flat, so he was just became more of a burden than anything. Um, and now it's like, you know, he's got all these mental issues and everything now. His life's going downhill and all that. And I'm like, well, the last I knew, your missus had recently just got a house. Why aren't you living in the house with your missus and kid? And he said, the last thing he said to me is, I don't think she wants me anymore. I don't think she wants me there. That was it. He said, I don't think she wants me there.
Why the fuck
Um,
would you want them there?
yeah.
What he needs to understand is that, well, she's got him out of the way because he's making his children's life worse. You know, as much as I'm all for fathers
Mm,
being involved with their children, and by God, I am very fucking for that. But for the love of God, before you start complaining about being alienated from your family, ask yourself a question. Are you a net positive of that family? Are you making it better? Are you even neutral? Would it be as good or as bad with or without you there? But see,
yeah.
whenever you're going to go in there and use up every resource for whatever it is that he's using it for, and it's either gambling or drugs or something like that, because you don't go through money like that without it, or just really bad fucking decisions day after day after day after day after day, he will destroy whatever environment he goes into. He's got no personal boundaries. He's got no self-respect whenever he's taking money off his parents.
It's
So
like,
he,
even since then, he hasn't even turned around and mentioned anything about the money. Now it's just plastered with all these mental health issues. So now it's like I've got to like forget about all that now. I've got to look after my brother now because he's got all these issues.
do
And
you know what? You can only look after your brother if your brother decides he wants to look after himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can, while he may have whether he's got a mental health issue or not, he's got a really bad problem with constantly making bad decisions. Where you end up in life is the sum result of all of your decisions. So you have constantly made good decisions, which is why you've ended up with Kelly, moving into a really nice house, doing all the stuff in the garden, sorting it out for the cats, going on little trips here and there. That's the result of good decisions day after day after day after day after day. Right? That's what brought you to where you are. Your brother is making bad decisions day after day after day after day after day. And anyone who attempts to hold him above the level of where his bad decisions are taking him is going to get pulled down with him. You have no chance whatsoever of pulling him back up until he, of his own volition, comes to the conclusion, I need to do things better.
Right.
And as much as I will say, look, I've spoke quite a lot about trying to go through the natural year this year and improve the way I live my life and things. And by the way, I'm not in. I was never in debt. I was scraping by and basically skint all the time is where I was at, and I knew I needed to make changes. And I've changed the way I go about eating, feeding myself. I've changed my daily routine and whatnot, and it's improved my life fucking immensely. And it was a bit of work, but by fuck, it's paying off. And I'm beginning to enjoy the benefits of it. But I was not destitute. I was not out of work. I was not in any sort of problem. But what I did see was I was below the level that I wanted for me and had to change things to get back to there. Your brother is obviously happy with the level he's currently at because he's not displaying any behavior to bring himself back the way. And as unfortunate as it is, the only way to help him is to tell him, we can't help you until you decide you want to be helped and want to get better and are serious about it. And see, whenever you've got a plan in place, whatever that plan may be, and what it must include is what your income is on a pay cycle, on a benefit cycle, or whatever it is, and how you're going to support yourself at the very, very basic level on that income, and how you're going to attempt to do it. And you go, right, well, you come up with that plan and we'll help you achieve it. We'll give you support and encouragement, but it has to be to do that plan. It can't be that we're just going to constantly bail you out of whatever shitty situation you get yourself into.
Yeah, thanks for that, 42. I think I'm going to put that to him.
Oh, and Dave Waffle House, please timestamp this. It's going to be about the last 15 minutes. And yeah, get your mum to listen to that as well. And you please listen to this. I may actually do a asshole consultant video for people who are dealing with particularly male family members, and what they need to do, because these people started off as good, decent people, but whatever has happened to them, that good, decent person is fucking covered in about 300 ton of shit. And the person, the person themselves needs to scrape that off and get themselves back to themselves and having personal standards before anything can be done for them. From what you're saying about your brother, he has no personal standards for what he'll accept for himself, but he's gone past that, and he has no standards whatsoever for what he'll accept for your mother, for your family, for your family, for his mother, for everybody else. He has no standards of what is and is not acceptable behavior. And that's the first thing that needs to change. And it's really first thing should be, see whatever shit I'm in, I'm not going to visit upon my family. That should be his very, very first. And that's the first thing that you're going to. That's the first thing that you're going to see the change in him at. Right. Well, I might be fucked, but at least let me try and contain this.
Yeah.
Not let's just fucking have my problem onto somebody else.
Exactly. It's like I don't even know. It's like if you're not with your kids and your missus, where he hasn't even told me yet. I don't even know where the hell he's living. I don't even know where the hell he is. He's not with his missus, and he's sure as hell not. He's sure as hell not with my mom. Where the fuck are you? Who the fuck is putting up with my brother's fuckery? You know. So what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It needs sorted out.
I think he might have gone back to a mate's flat or something. Maybe he's bunked up there somewhere. I don't know.
DJ, I do get your point that telling people not to be a dickhead isn't going to fix them, but my point is, you're not disavowing them or disowning them because they won't listen to you tell them not to be a dickhead. My concern is that he could destroy a whole fucking family. That's my concern. My concern is that you let people like that with no boundaries into your little bit of a family, and next thing next thing your marriage is fucked, your relationships is fucked at all because nobody can fucking put up with them. And that's, do you know what I mean? People need to. You don't owe. You only owe your relatives assistance while they are behaving like your relatives. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, yeah.
And see if your mother stops behaving to you like a mother, you don't really need to help her. Your father stops behaving like a father, you don't really need to help him. Your brother stops behaving like a brother, doesn't have your best interest, yeah, you don't need to help him. Sister doesn't have your best interest, yeah, no, you don't. It's a family works because they pull together, and the family members that are not willing to pull together need outcast because they drag down the whole family.
It's like I said, I thought he was a strong-minded person, and now he's me in particular, I know at least, and my mum. I'm just got us being worried for him now, constantly worried for him. I don't know where he is. I don't know where he's staying. So it's not, and I'm scared to ask him to come round here because I don't know what that could mean for me and Kelly if he comes round.
Oh, don't. If you're going to meet your brother, meet him somewhere away from that house.
Yeah.
And do not give him the address of that house.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I know he knows roughly where we live, unfortunately, because he used to live right. When we said what area, he says, "Oh yeah, I used to live right there."
Yeah, no, you let him know what area, but don't. Yeah, then do not invite him over. If you're going to, the other thing is, nothing of what I'm saying means don't have any compassion for him.
No.
You know, you can still worry about him. You can still do all of that.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of limiting your exposure.
It's just the sudden switch that's just.
Oh, here,
Yeah.
blogs. I'm not taking off Stephen Molyneux in this. I'm taking off someone who is much harsher. Guy called Aaron Clary, asshole consultant. If you ever want life advice that is very, very sharp and to the point, go look up Aaron Clary, asshole consultant. Go on the channel, put what the issue is, and you'll find that he has told someone about it. He has went through that problem with someone, and by God, his stuff's fucking amazing. They are some of the best rants, but it's really, really good, solid sound advice. But it's delivered quite harshly. I quoted him earlier night whenever I said it's called work for a reason. It's called work. It's not called big-titted redhead sucking your cock.
Right.
You're not going to have that day in, day out. What you've got to do is go to work, do the thing you don't want to do. I like Stephen Molyneux too, by the way. But you need to go and do the thing that makes the money, whatever that be. And don't get hung up on job titles, on actual tasks. It's this amount of money, these amount of hours. What can I do with that? Actually did quite profound there at the end. And by the way, the other thing is, I give this advice having spent 10 years dealing with men who have come out of abusive relationships or are going through family court or have had just divorces that were an absolute shit show and have a lot of experience with these issues. I've went to the conferences, I've listened to the lectures, if you want to know about male psychology from a male perspective and stuff like this, I highly recommend An Ear for Men with Paul Allen, or Paul's actually really good. I met him several times. Or Men Are Good with Tom Golden, and it'll break down some of these issues for you. But it is what it is. Oh, fuck. Right.
What time is it? How long we've been on?
It is. Right. We're coming up on 2 hours.
All right.
And it is 12:30. And then the Hunter saying group therapy Sunday school. No, I haven't seen anything new from Stephen for quite a while. Right. Is there anything you want to talk about quickly before we begin to wrap this up?
Now you can wrap it up.
Yep. Right.
I just started thinking about my brother a bit too much now.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry about that. But, like, on the plus side, this is going to be on the internet. So if you need to listen back to what I said about, you know where it is. And also, if your mom or whatever wants to hear it, needs to hear it, you know where it is. And it will also say, this is the same 42 that formed Men's Rights Northern Ireland, that got Belfast City Council to have the only government funded event for International Men's Day. I am very, very pro men getting assistance. However, I also realize that there are some men that need to earn the assistance by making some form of recompense, because without that, they're not going to get anywhere. And you can't help those that wish to not help themselves. It's just not possible. Oh, fuck Billy Blogs. I do hope the brother sees it. I really hope the brother sees it. And I'll tell you another thing. If the brother does see that, my email address is in the description. Please email me.
That would be nice if he did.
Oh, here, and I'll tell you better than that. I'll give you my phone number. If your brother wants to speak to somebody about self-improvement, I'm on the end of the phone. And I don't give a fuck if he phones at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 1 o'clock in the morning. Whenever he wants the assistance, provided I'm awake, I'll answer and I'll give him whatever time he needs. I am all for pointing people the right direction. And if he needs help with that, I'm here to do that. But he also needs to know that there's no magic wand, and the only thing that's going to work for him is work. And he needs to start at the bottom. And he needs to start with Maslow's hierarchy of needs: oxygen, food, water, shelter, and build up from there and have a plan for how he's going to improve himself. And I'll help him do that. I will also give him unlimited assistance with filling in any form he needs for housing, for any of that type of stuff. And I am very adept at getting finding support groups that will help him, that are appropriate. I can do all that.
Be nice, wouldn't it? Be nice for him to actually, because you gotta want it, and you gotta want it. And I don't want to get that call. I don't want to get that call.
Oh, nobody wants that.
Oh, yeah, your brother dead, basically. I don't want to get that call. And I wonder sometimes, like, if we have that conversation, is he just going to clam up and not tell me something he should be telling me? You know.
Well, tell him if he wants somebody that he doesn't know from Adam, that knows nothing about his situation, that's going to sit on the other end of a phone or a video link and listen to what he's saying, and actually listen to it and help him plot a way forward. It's there for him, and it's free.
It's one of the things he actually did say to me, thinking about it now. I actually said to him, "What is it that you need help with?" I remember having a conversation with him. And he says, I try telling people, but no one wants to listen. And I said, well, I'm here.
Oh, right. Okay. Tell your brother that you know a person that formed a group called Men's Rights Northern Ireland. And the reason why it was formed was so that men do not go through the shit on their own. And I am here to listen. And I have also said for a very long time, there is no problem with men talking about their problems. The only problem is ever people wanting to listen. And if you want somebody to do that, I'm there.
Yeah.
With fucking bells on. It's free, it's open-ended, and there is no way to donate to my channel. So that's how free it is. I do what I do because hopefully somehow I can help people. And that makes sense of all the shit that I've been through. So you can pass it on to him, and you can give him this link and tell him to listen to the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. Thanks, 42. Thank you. Let's see if let's see if he wants to listen.
Yeah. You know, and that's the other thing. Since I've said all this, my email address is in the description of every video. anybody wants to email me about issues relating to men or whatever, I've got close to 15 years of experience dealing with all this crap. I did 25 years in an abusive relationship. I've had several bouts of counselling, and I eventually figured shit out for myself. And anybody wants help with that, I will give whatever assistance I can. And with that, oh fuck. Have we a quick joke before we leave? Because this is heavy.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Have you a quick funny one?
Nothing, mate.
Oh.
I'll leave it over to you.
Yeah, right. Okay. Peter, it has been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to send you an email after this and send you my phone number, by the way. Actually, I'll send you a Telegram. If you want to email me or call me or anything in the next day or two, since all that stuff's come up, please know I'm available. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been very interesting.
I mean, I had no idea it was going to go in this direction, but it's something positive's come of it. Hopefully.
Yeah. Dave Waffle, get your mother to listen to the last 20 minutes of this, please. Because I think she could gain something from that. But yeah.
I mean, he's having real trouble with his brother, isn't he? I mean, I thought I had it. He's been threatening his family. It's like, what the hell? Threatening with violence and all sorts. And I suppose I don't know the half of it, right? But yeah, what he's told us, that's really bad, that is.
Yeah. It is. It's horrendous. Right. Anyway, I'm going to play an outro. I think I'm going to go with harmony, melody, and rhyme. And I'll put all the comments up. And then we'll say our goodbyes. Right. Here we go. Share screen. No, it's I pressed all of the wrong buttons. I want video file. I want red.
This is 42 speaking. Welcome to the Resistance. You are not alone, and we shall walk this journey together. What about you, John? If one brings a guitar and one brings a voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. Let us gather together those that can perform, and from the scarred timbers build our own platform. From that grand house they tried to burn down, there's gold in the ashes if you look around. Let us gather together those that can perform, then from those scarred timbers build our own platform. Build our own platform. We will sing words of wisdom. We will sing world. Harmony, melody, and rhyme. We descended from minstrels in old days of yore. We will create a culture as we did once before, forced to stand by as our country was sold. really think we'd leave that story untold? So one brings a guitar and one brings a voice. Then they stand together and make their own choice. They have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. They have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. Stand by as our country was sold. Did you really think we'd leave that story untold? We will sing words of wisdom. We will sing we will sing harmony, melody, crying. Harmony, melody, and crying. So one brings a guitar and one brings a voice. Then they stand together and make their own choice. I have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. Never realized you could not kill a dream. So we will gather together those that can perform, and from the scarred timbers build our own platform. You're talking to 42. What about you, chum? If one brings a guitar and one brings a voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. Sing words of wisdom, we will sing for all time. We will sing for our people, harmony, melody, and rhyme. We will sing words of wisdom, we will sing for all time. We will sing for our people with the ancient trilogy of harmony, melody, rhyme. Sun each became a deity, independent parts of another trilogy. Is it a coincidence or is it just sublime that we now bring excellence in harmony, melody, and rhyme? With power and wealth, you control the mainstream, but you never realized you could not kill a dream. You cannot kill a dream, and we shall walk this journey together.
Fuck. Right. Oh, fuck. Right. Okay. Yep. I'm going to do this. Where'd it go? Most people know what I wrote. Right. The flag with the orange flag with the white square and a red cross in the top flagpole corner, and the purple star in the bottom is the orange standard. It's the standard of the Grand Orange. Yeah, there's a purple star, the purple star of Ulster. Fuck. Right, hold on. Let's see. Freeze that. Let's take us back a bit. All right, here we go. No, back further a bit. We'll go to there. This is one of the murals of Freedom Corner. Freedom Corner. Okay.
So one brings a guitar and one brings a voice. Then they stand together and make their own choice. I have seen the future. The way forward is clear.
Fuck. Oh fuck! The Ulster flag. The one like a St. George. The one like a St. George cross. Oh, fuck's sake, Billy.
Voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. I have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare.
That's the one. Fuck. Right. Okay. We'll do this. Yeah, that one. That's called the Ulster flag, Billy. That's the flag of Northern Ireland. Well, it was from 1921 officially until 1974. Whenever the thing for when we went to the we reverted to the Union Jack, Union banner as our national flag, but we still use the Union banner for football. Yep. Red hand defenders. Yeah, the red hands ceased to be our official standard whenever the Sunnydale, the Stormont government went down in the 70s. We reverted to the Union banner whenever officially moved back because our current government in that Northern Ireland Assembly are a pack of fucking Fenian bastards and will not have anything British about them. No, I don't either. I don't remember that. Oh, fuck. Right. Okay, here we go. Now, we'll take this back out of the thing. Peter has been Peter. I have been 42, and you lot in the chat have as always been fucking amazing. Thank you. Good night. God bless. I'm out of here. Goodbye.